Welcome back to Shoot for Initiative, episode
4.
Episode 4.
Well done, Mira. Well done.
It is not because I don't know which episode it is, it's because I cannot count to 4.
It only has 3 fingers.
Welcome back to Shoot for Initiative. We're a show that is a Dungeons and Dragons gameplay game show, and we do game show elements instead of ability checks, and I make my players do ridiculous things to keep you guys entertained. Previously on Shoot for Initiative, we did some stupid stuff. We fought a flamingo in a church that magically appeared out of nowhere in town. Don't know why. You guys went in, fought it. It was a mirage or illusion or whatever it was. You got told by a senior champion in the Champions Guild. You followed him to a tavern where you had a brilliant talk about tactics and strategies, and you decided to go to a secret tunnel that will lead you to the Strider Manor, which is the center of your mission. You guys are now outside an outhouse in the middle of a field of the Longfellow Ranch, where the secret entrance are said to be, except for Alaric, who is in the tavern with a bunch of enemies who guards the manor. So there are guards that are on break in this tavern, and they are having a kind of, what's the nice way to put it?
Which one's sharper?
Yeah, a sword measuring contest. To see whose sword is longer. Sharper. I think we'll go to you first.
Fair enough.
So, as he got one sword out to sharpen, everyone else, you got another sword to sharpen. He got 2 daggers out and started sharpening 2 daggers, and then you got another sword out. And the more weapons you pull out, the more weapons he pulls out, and there seems to be no end to this contest.
You better get some of those weapons.
Are you using a whetstone? How are you sharpening it?
I use my mind.
Just stare at the blade.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I can do anything
Well,
better
you
than
definitely
you.
sing better than you. You know what? How about I buy a drink?
All right,
It's gonna take all day anyway. So.
I'll take a drink.
Cool. Let's have a drink.
All right, 2 more what are specials. What do you got there? That ale again. All right. Okay, what did you want again?
I just want to ask a few questions.
Yeah. Right, is that what it was? What were the questions?
I was looking for a guy that you said was somewhere to be found, but you wouldn't tell me where he was.
All right. No, I'm sorry, that's part of my job. We don't do that. We don't tell people stuff.
Fair enough.
So,
But you just told me something, though.
did I?
You just told me stuff.
Yeah. Maybe you can buy the next round.
Sure, I already bought this one.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll give you another round.
He drinks a second beer. So what did you want to know again?
I was just curious about who ordered all of you guys to come here and like check out this place. That's all. Like I wanted to eventually join your little group of wonderful soldiers.
Well, I wouldn't say little.
I mean, like you know, an army.
It's
I
pretty
guess.
big.
Well, yeah, it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I was
Stands
curious as who actually hired you to come here because I was interested.
Well, we were drinking in the tavern. I'm a blacksmith by trade. But,
So how did you become a god?
well, you don't turn down 100 gold a day for nothing.
That is true.
Yeah.
So again, how do I sign up?
You don't. They sign you up. And I've never seen them taking anyone new.
But
to
everyone
be
here
honest.
has to have started at some point.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, this is 100 gold for us all. And if there's one more person, I don't think there'd be 100 gold anymore. I'm not splitting it with you.
Oh, I see. So you're getting paid out of the budget. You're not getting paid 100.
We're paying 100 each.
But if
Well-
someone else joins, you'll be paid less.
Well, that's how.
All right.
Gold works, isn't it?
Sure. All right. Just enjoy the drink. I'll go back to my my friends and say that unfortunately couldn't get the most awesome job in this place.
Well, you gotta be good looking, tall, strong,
Yeah.
have a long blade.
What?
He starts putting all his blades back in.
I'll take mine back too. How much is the drinks?
I would say it's free.
Oh.
If you remember, because all drinks there are free. So when you buy a drink,
Welcome
just ask
two
for
free
drinks.
rounds. I'll buy him 3 more free rounds and then leave.
So you have back about 20-minute walk towards the where the Mirage Church was, and out of there towards the fields. You pass through about 50 heads of cattle. There's a long kind of in the distance. There's a very long L-shaped kind of shed. There's a silo. There's a big barn, and then on your right there's an outhouse in the middle of a field. You pass through the cattle, you try and kind of not take notice of the pungent smell of cow dung.
Probably used to it by now.
And you see a group of familiar people leaning against the outhouse.
Does the sea type
Taking
is
a-
chasing a chicken?
Yeah, you just see
Grab
a
two.
massive man in glimmering armor and silvery locks chasing a chicken around.
Never attack the chicken.
Just casually walk back. Hey, fellas.
Hello.
You're back. Yeah, it was a bit dead end.
You left in quite a hurry. I hope it. I'm glad to see it was expedient. I hope it is successful.
Not really. Not really. I was just trying to connect a few dots, but it didn't go so well.
Okay.
Sorry.
You tried and that's all that matters. Are you alright? You didn't get into any sort of fights or,
Not yet.
How would he get into a fight if he was connecting dots? This is peaceful town.
I
I've
mean,
seen how
that
the
is
street
kinda
connects
connecting
dots.
Dots.
Yes.
He'd be slightly more bruised if he was trying to go in there for a fight.
Don't underestimate me.
So where did you go? Did you forget your wallet?
No, I was just trying to ask a few questions.
Fair
I thought they were going to answer, but of course they weren't.
Not to,
Would you lot keep it down? I'm trying to read here.
sorry, not to, what's the
What are
word?
you reading?
Constructive criticism. You
Wait.
don't have to go off here on your own. You don't get
see
out.
that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about that.
What's it about?
I'm not used
Is
to
it
being in
about
a group
fears?
this big.
Not quite. My spell book.
Mm.
I'm just looking over your shoulder at it. Excellent penmanship.
So do you want us to fill you in?
Sure.
Well,
Fine.
Tiberius is really good at chasing chickens, but Daz is better at running away.
That's
So it
good.
works really well for us.
Okay, that's good. So can you use him to go him around?
Yeah, pretty well.
Can I do
So,
a stealth
What did
check?
you? Yeah.
And I want to go
Chicken go
into
there.
the outhouse
Yes.
and see if I can and get the entrance sorted and go down into the stable and butcher. But I don't want them to notice that I've gone.
Okay.
Just be careful with the touch.
I feel like I heard that one before.
I feel like I have a scorecard of like dads versus Tiberius and just like
Tense.
who's like past how much is like dads.
I would say that most people here would notice that
Yeah.
you were doing what you were doing.
Alright, so I've
I'll
just
just
walked
do it
in.
Oh,
Like I've
cool.
seen Alric's back, I've just gone right.
Into
Okay.
the
Yeah.
outhouse.
You're
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
So we're currently short resting too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
good.
try and find the door that will get us into the tunnel.
Okay. So as soon as you walk in, you notice that the outhouse is kind of bigger on the outside on account of how thick the planks are.
Yep.
And as you enter, you don't see what you normally see in an outhouse. There's not really, there's not really amenities. It's just a hole. The hole leads to a dark area that you don't know where it leads to. It seems like people don't know that this is an entrance to somewhere. They have really used it just as an outhouse. And you just see a hole going down from where people have
Alright.
have exited their.
It's a drop toilet.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
The poo and the peas are there.
Right. So, is it
You're gonna love
like
this.
is it fresh? Is
Let me see
it
what
like,
smells
or hasn't it
outside.
not been used for a long period of
I
time?
would say it's been a couple of hours gone. Some of the
Oh, so it's been recent.
yeah, some of the farmhands have used it.
Right.
So we should probably get moving in case someone's coming through here to do their business.
I do not know who he is
Can
brave
I?
enough to investigate
I was
first.
going to say, can I do an investigation around the room to see if there is an actual door into the thing, or
Of
we've
course.
got to go through the?
Sure.
Because normally those drop toilets, the hole's only this big, and the only person that'll fit down there is Stanford. So.
I don't know if it helps, but I also have identify.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
That's to do with the
investigation.
toilet.
Well, I can like check for doors or something, like
Oh.
identify the buildings.
Well, we've got to go.
19.
19. So you see on the kind of far left side of the outhouse, there's a speck of what you suspect to be poo, but on second glance, it looks
Definitely
like
poo.
yeah, it's definitely poo.
That's my friends.
It's definitely tasting like poop.
It looks like a nail, and as you look back, all the specks kind of line up to be a pattern, and they're all nails. You just noticed, and they all seem to be the same type of nail, and they all seem to be different lengths. You can't tell what the pattern is, but there is certainly a pattern. This is not random.
Right. Can I just push one of them?
Sure.
The first one that I spotted.
Okay.
Just want to push it.
So you push the first nail, and as you push it, nothing happens, and the nail does not give way. But as you pull away from it, the fingertip kind of clings off it, and the sound resonates, and it's a much louder sound than you would think a nail would give off, and it's almost like a note of a flute or a tuning fork.
Right.
Like it was some kind of instrument. It's ding.
Would we hear that? Would we all hear that?
Oh yes, you will all hear that.
I feel like we all sit just in the doorway looking over at Tal just to see if he like jumps into the door.
No, I'm probably still sitting against the wall outside.
I'm just going to play a random tune on all of the nails.
Ding, 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 ding. Claire, can you bring out our first game of the evening?
Damn it!
This is the episode.
Wonderful.
God,
Shot.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Can I just say, we're basically doing like the opposite of the Shawshank Redemption. We're
We're gonna
Andy,
come out
Thank
from
you,
those-
Claire.
we're Andy Dufresne trying to get into prison.
Thank you, Claire.
Alright, so this game is definitely not a copy of the TV show. It's called Think About the Tune, not Guess the Tune. So I'm gonna play a song that is a well-known song on either the harmonica or the kazoo, and you have to guess what that song is.
Do you
You have
know
a time limit of 5 seconds for each song. If you can guess 10 out of the 20,
Jesus.
Do you know how to play that thing?
I didn't want to ask that.
if you can guess 10 out of 20, you can open the door without any issue. If you can guess 5 out of 20, you can open the door with some consequence.
Do we get to add any modifiers to this? Like,
This is where the show
if I'm
ends.
trying to pick a lock, I add my sleight of hand.
Poo pit.
It's not so much a lock as it is a magical door.
None of us
It's a
asked.
magical xylophone.
And everyone knows you can only play the chicken dance on the kazoo.
Just play that 5 times.
However, I will give you an advantage on lockpicking if
So we're all answering this though?
you're rolling for a d20. So you roll a d20.
Yeah.
If you get a 13 or above, I will play the kazoo. If you get a 13 or below, I will get the harmonica. The problem is I don't know how to play the harmonica.
Oh,
Yeah.
So-
Set of
So
answers,
you
right?
know how to play the kazoo.
Well, he plays the kazoo.
I play the kazoo.
He's touched the kazoo before.
I've seen a kazoo. I've
So-
seen a kazoo kid.
Under 13 for
Well, that's
kazoo?
as well.
Yeah. So
It's gonna go bad anyway.
So let's do this. I will think of the song first.
Yep.
You guys can choose a genre. Wait, that's not good. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I thought that was a good idea. It's not.
Death metal punk rock.
That'd be my playlist. Probably.
So I'm deferring everything to you. I have no idea.
So I'm gonna start with Kent because he's the first one in.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Alright, so what am I doing? I'm rolling?
You're
or
rolling to see a d20 to see if you get 13.
Just one or?
Just one. No.
Did you say you had advantage?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Advantage? Alright.
No.
Wow.
217, so.
So that means
217.
Because it-
There you go.
So
No.
do.
yeah, no, under 13 is harmonica.
It's
Yeah.
other way around, isn't it?
No, he doesn't know how to play. Oh, actually.
Yeah, no,
I don't know the name of the song.
Well, that's. Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
it's,
guys.
Yeah, well, that's either the Brisbane Lions theme song,
yeah, that's.
or it's the French national anthem.
French national anthem.
Oh,
Right, yeah.
nice.
There we go.
I'll put these counters up. One. Okay. Thomas, I'll give you this one.
You give me this one. Okay. I'm done.
Freebie.
Are you ready?
I have no idea.
It's gonna be easy.
Can we still
Oh,
jump
can you
in?
roll the dice first? Roll the dice first. Let's see what you get.
No.
Oh, this dice.
Just one of those
Go out the
ones.
window anyway. That's 11.
No, no.
Try not too far.
Don't laugh, Aaron. Don't laugh.
Alright.
Used to say, man, send me a dream.
Yeah.
Kind of where I was
Can you play it again?
too.
It's gonna sound different this time.
No, I got nothing.
It's not
I-
Taylor Swift.
Pretty sure it's not
It's
Slipknot either.
Oh, it's
Probably
not.
bad guy.
Is it a pirate shanty?
It's a Christmas song.
Oh god.
Really?
Now,
It's like a Mary had
my
a
first song was a Christmas song.
Yeah.
Not Little Drummer Boy, was it?
We wish you Merry Christmas.
Can you play it again?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Last one,
Reindeer.
last one.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay, Christmas.
No.
Jingle Bells?
Frosty the Snowman.
So that's a no.
That's a
Okay.
no.
Yeah, wow.
We lost that one.
I don't think that one's good
No,
in
we've got
Australia.
plenty of these to
I'm
get
not-
through.
I'm not
Right.
even ashamed.
Roll well. Roll well, please.
17. Happy birthday. Again.
I'll put a like you one.
17.
No, Brad's gone again.
Sorry. I
Brad's
got too
gone.
excited.
He's doing his best.
This
We're
is
going
all
outside
we're
the
gonna
week.
do.
Okay. Yeah. 15.
Kazoo.
Well, why is not that good one? Katy
Oh,
Perry.
take plastic bag, paper bag, whatever it is.
Fireworks.
That one. Right?
Yeah, that's
fireworks.
Katy
yeah,
Perry.
the
Yeah.
song's plastic bag.
Sorry.
I don't know.
I
It's called Plastic Bag by Katy Perry.
It is now.
It's my favorite.
Hey,
By
Okay.
Katy Perry.
17.
Ah.
17.
Things were rolling well.
Yeah.
Literally always
17.
Lying on the floor. Where were you? You found me.
Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called You Found
I'll
Me.
give it extra dice if you can name the band.
Not a chance.
The Fray.
Yes.
I've
already succeeded. We've already
We
succeeded.
need, yeah, we just need 5 more.
You had a primary school girlfriend.
13.
I did.
13. I say 13 or higher.
Yes, you
Oh,
did.
yes.
Kazoo.
Kazoo.
You
Wow.
so Doug, you're in a metal band, right? Is that
Oh
right?
god. Where are you going with this?
Enter Sandman, mate.
Do I know any metal songs?
I don't imagine so.
Do you know any songs?
That's true.
Not by the sound of it.
Yeah, Frosty the Snowman.
That was your go-to. I'm very scared now.
What? Do it again.
No idea.
That's the Postman Pat metal version.
I was about to think of a metal version of something.
We're gonna have so many memes of us kind of going.
Sorry, someone asking if you're
So you played
So
a metal version of a kids' TV show on a kazoo.
Hero did say he was drunk last night. I think he still is.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to apologise on behalf of all of us to anyone who might be watching.
Yeah, how does that sound? That's a new.
I apologize to the Blue Yeti.
Yeah.
Can't.
Oh wow.
You don't vote for that one.
5.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. I'm not using that dice anymore.
Oh, upside down. It's a kids theme song, kids show theme song.
Okay, can you do it one
Is
more
it-
It's
time?
I think I know. It's a Disney one. Not the, yeah,
Would he
it's
have
like,
been a kid
Pluto
when this song
or
came out?
Goofy or
Oh,
something.
Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
No.
It's not like Thomas the
Daffy
Tank Engine or
Duck.
something. Is it Thomas the Tank
Yeah.
Finally, years of watching Thomas the Tank Engine.
It was like Disney.
And,
I was a
and your
child.
parents told you it wouldn't come in
I don't know
handy.
if there was TV around when I was a child, so.
Maybe that's the Thomas the Tank Engine
And I
radio
don't
show.
have children, so.
We just watched The Fire when we were
You used to watch Thomas the Steam Engine.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to move this as well, Thomas, your next one, I'll give you 2.
You give me 2?
Yes, and I'll make it extra hard.
Get kazoo, please.
You give me 2 songs, or you give me 2
No, I'll
songs?
give you 2 dice.
If we
Two
get
dice if you get it right.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
right.
To add to my collection?
No, to that.
To the,
Two on the
You don't
tally.
need more, actually.
So you're only rolling 1.
So getting
It's
it right
19.
means 2 points.
18.
Yes,
Yes,
kazoo.
kazoo. Okay, okay.
Better keep rolling well.
that's
Say
like-
something country.
Oh, wow. I'm expecting a hell of a performance now.
Come on.
I want like the whole body of the
Blow that bassoon.
little bit of choreography.
Oh, it's the Caribbean?
yes. That's easy.
He's a pirate?
Yeah.
That was a solid kazoo version. though.
Yeah, that was
a
actually,
solid
that was banging
version.
pretty quick.
Well,
Finally got one.
Have we got 10 yet?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We need one
See,
more. Right, this is
How many
you.
do we need to pass?
The punishment in this game is not losing the game, it's listening to me
He
play
got
the
2,
kazoo.
6,
Oh, hurry up. I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Better
Do we
than
get
That's a
two?
nat 20.
Ooh, do we get 2
So
points
does
for
that mean
this
you
one?
get to sing it?
Do we get 2 points for this one? And do
It
you
means
get
that
to
he gets to hum.
Okay, I'll give you 2 points and I'll sing it.
sing? Ooh.
Yes.
Really badly.
Are we zooming on his
This
face?
is different to the kazoo
What's that
playing.
first
or-
one?
Can I do this without copyright infringement? Yeah, probably
Hum it.
Just don't sing it well and you'll be fine.
Into the unknown! Into the unknown!
Is it called Into the Unknown?
But you gotta name not the song, but the franchise is from.
Is it metal version Into the Unknown?
Oh,
Oh, what's the franchise?
Frozen.
Oh, Frozen, yeah.
Which one?
Frozen 2.
You just said the franchise.
I haven't seen Frozen 2. So
I
I'm-
have
Franchise.
none.
Oh, yeah, series.
I haven't seen either of them.
Mm.
Alright, so we should succeed.
Yes.
So there's one
Yes.
more. There's one more.
Okay.
Dylan.
Okay. Into the unknown! Off the toilet.
I just flushed myself.
Like Men in Black.
Straight flush.
I shit my own self in the
Oh
toilet.
shit, I think I figured it out.
Dylan, for the last one,
Wait.
only you can guess it.
Only
Oh,
me.
we have 10 points though.
Do you?
Yeah, there's 10.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't count.
We established it at the start.
Thank you,
You
Master.
can make Dylan do it on the table if you want to.
Oh,
but-
that's pretty
I'm here for it.
No,
I'm here for it.
Just for funsies.
Alright,
The last one.
alright. Let's do
You got
this.
You got this.
Alright.
We believe.
I'll do theme songs, so it's easy.
Oh no, that might screw me.
depends on what you're watching.
Alright, do you roll dice?
Ah.
See what I played on?
I don't trust any of them now. 17.
Oh, you good,
That's
you good.
That's the number of the 9.
Yeah.
Seems to be.
theme
Can
song.
you do that again?
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Can
But
we-
only Dylan can answer.
Oh no.
I know what it is.
I have a hunch, but I think it's wrong.
Do you want to tap in for Claire? You can call for help for Claire. For-
Help.
Doctor Who.
It is, yes.
God, I would have been wrong. How did I not guess that?
Doctor Who theme song.
Well, it's played on.
I thought Neighbours.
I was about to say
Friends.
It's the Muddy Bush.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Come with us now.
So-
Thank you, Claire.
Thanks, Claire.
Thank you, Claire.
Does
Th-
anyone see Tal just like shredding it onto nails?
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm just hitting stuff randomly. Ding, 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 ding.
Monkey in the typewriter theory?
Yep.
Nice.
Smashing the buttons.
Hey, it worked.
Dude, you're nailing it.
So as you play the tune, you realize that all the kind of mornings that you spent in Sunday school and being forced into going to services in church actually did you some good. You notice that some of the tunes actually match with hymns and things that people have sung in church, and you start playing one of them out of memory, and it unlocked the back door of the outhouse. And what you see now is a purple void, which is what some of you might know as a dimension door.
Who can forget the classic hymn Postman Pat, the metal version?
Does the song stay the same? So when all the other NPCs trying to get through this door, they have to do this too.
So it's open. It's just open.
Oh, that's me in general in the future. I mean,
Oh yeah. You know it. If you know Postman Pat, you know it.
Okay.
Perfect.
So it's like a purple void.
It's a
Void.
purple void.
I think I found the way in here. I don't know what this purple swirly stuff is. It might be more up your alley, mate.
That would be a dimension door. It means to travel. You walk through it.
Alright then. I'm just going to step through it.
Tal first.
Half the Tal walks through. I didn't know he was bardically trained.
As Tal walks through, Fen just pays attention and gets ready to make notes.
Doesn't explode.
Pretty much.
Damn it.
No
as-
complications if
I'm
it's
going
I bet
through.
you
I'll,
didn't know what it was. Like,
I'll
oh,
go
this is
through
a
it
dimension
too.
door.
Wait, after this description, I'll
As the bravest man in the party, you stick your foot out, expecting ground, but nothing meets you. You fall into the abyss, and eventually you feel something smack against your face.
Oh, I don't get to do a deck save?
So there's no
Or
dex there.
acrobatics?
It's just straight up smacking against the face, and you're like, who is that? And you notice that your mouth tastes like dust, and it was just the ground. And you notice that the outhouse is actually just above you, there's the poo behind you, and the dimension door just leads you to a kind of horizontal dimension door that's above a cave ceiling.
Right.
So it kind of just dimensions you. splat onto the
basically you
ground.
skip the poo.
Yeah, you just skip the poo.
I didn't land in the shit then, that's good.
But if
I'm
you
normally always in the shit.
roll a dex save to see if a gas lands on you.
Deck save? It's 23.
Different. So you notice a familiar.
Yeah, watch the step. Will they hear me if I yell out?
They will hear you.
Watch the step. It's a bit further than you think. And watch the shit.
It's a lot of effort to avoid some poo. Let's do this very,
Hey,
You're a
very.
farmer, you don't
I
care.
don't want to go through that shit.
Let's do some very tricky magic
Do you just
to
swim
avoid
dive
a
in?
meter of poo.
Poo on, poo on.
Yeah.
You might be used to working in poo, mate, but I'm not.
I'll just grab Daz and be like, catch! And then jump through.
Daz lands in style with his wings out, slowly kind of glides towards Kent. And
Tal.
yeah, Tal, sorry. And you land on your feet too, because Tal has warned you beforehand.
Perfect.
But your knees hurt a little. She's landing like, oh, superhero landing. That'll be good.
Is Tiberius like ready to charge in, or is he waiting for all of us to go through first?
He has seen the chicken go in, and he's pushed past all of you, and he's still kind of
Gotta get
chasing the
that
chicken, and he dives in head first, and he somehow does a tumble does a somersault and land on his feet, hand on his sword, and one hand kind of reaching out for the chicken. And he sees that he's in a different, completely new place and goes, "Ah, it seems we have entered the unknown."
It's called a tunnel, mate.
So, you're pretty capable
Or
of
a
jumping
poo
in
shoot
yourself,
if
aren't
you
you?
want.
Yeah, this I can do.
Okay, I'll push those two.
Push you.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'll push
I
them
said,
in.
if you
Before-
walk back
I was
that
gonna
way
grab
about
Thunder.
3 meters,
Before-
you'll find out what I mean.
I see. I do not indulge in your trickery, mage.
You're so right for him.
When do we get rid of this?
You're
So
a
fucking
bright
stupid.
spark, you are.
Yes, thank you.
So before I go through the void, through the dimension door, I'm going to grab a small feather out of my component's pouch, and then jump in. I guess as
I'll push them
Alex
both
pushing.
in.
I feel like you just pushed me and I bumped into Fendwick.
And then as I
He's
go
so
through
small.
and the floor drops out, I'll cast feather fall on myself.
Very nice. Are you then gracefully avoiding the chicken and Tiberius? You are behind him, I believe?
Yeah, I get pushed in.
How
I
wide,
face plant.
You
how,
face
how wide is this tunnel?
the tunnel itself. It's about 6 feet, I would say. It's a pretty big tunnel.
I'm going to start
Um,
moving slightly down, to make room for people, other people coming down. So I don't want them landing in
you look to your right and you see kind of like a shape of a face that resembles Tal. And you're like, oh, he's been here too.
I'll jump in as well.
We scramble out of the way so we get.
You know what that say? Let's see how you look. Back.
Nope.
Say, Fendwick, next time you
Every
come, I'll
single
show you
roll.
the
You're like, with my military
Oh,
training, I'm definitely
Sure,
going to
I
land
guess I
on
can
my
do
feet.
that.
I'm quite clumsy.
As you do that, you step on your the edge of your boot and you trip into the
Shoelaces untied.
trip into there, head first into the floor right next to Hazel.
Hello. I'm happy to step in next time. We don't have to, if it's alright to push me.
Oh, it's funnier this way, wasn't it? Oh, my back. On the minute.
That bit certainly was funny.
So you do notice that the tunnel is not what a regular cave looks like. It is not brown or dirt colored or anything like that. It is black. The material of the cave is still dirt-like. You would assume that those is not because it's a black rock or crystals or anything like that. It's just kind of a normal cave that has been scorched entirely, so that it is completely black.
That's not disconcerting
Can
at
I
all.
feel the ground or
smell
like
it.
walls? Is it warm? Like has it been recently
As
scorched?
you touch it, it is not warm, but as your fingers leave the cave wall, where your fingers have been, you can see red marks revealing behind the ash. It's just a layer of ash on top of the red dust that is the tunnel.
It's just sooty.
It's kind of step through. You're in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did roll a dex and got a 12.
Just land on top of.
Yeah, I would say that you land almost on the chicken.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
My sincerest apologies.
Someone say KFC.
I don't care. Right, we should be a bit careful because it seems like fire. Is it like very thick ash, like regular fire has come up this hole? Is it like a lot of fire?
You don't know because there's no direction of the scorch mark. It just completely soot.
Okay. At least at some point this hall has been completely filled with fire, so we should be careful that we don't. If you feel warmth or see light, yell.
Can you see the end of the tunnel?
I think,
Is there a
I
light?
If you
think
see the light, don't go towards it.
Tal is first in
Yeah.
ahead. So as you are walking down, you don't really see an end to it, but it seems to be lit up pretty well by kind of just torches along the way. So the torches are lit.
They're lit.
It is a lit tunnel, and as you walk, there's no branching off tunnels. There's no smaller tunnels. There's no difference in markings. It's just the regular kind of jagged rock.
I think we better move a bit quietly. I thought this would be abandoned. I didn't expect to see torches here on the wall.
I think maybe you need to
There
keep an
might
eye
be
out
someone
for
else down here.
keep an eye out for some traps, eh?
I can do that.
Is it only wide enough for us to be single file, or is it? How big?
It's wide enough for some of you to be next to each other, but not the bigger of you.
About 6 foot, isn't it?
Yeah, 6 foot.
Should we move stealthily?
Still sounds like a appropriate option.
Tiberius, are you good at being quiet?
I am the ship.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Well, that's
Alright,
wonderful
you
news.
want to go down the hall first then, mate, and then, you know, maybe if
Oh.
anything explodes, you can take it on.
Yes. I am the champion.
Mhm.
You're a meat shield.
I
that's
thought
what
you were in
are.
the shadow.
I do like meat. Yes,
I
Are
thought
you
you were in the
Dragon
shadow.
League?
No, you're
Yes.
the champion.
I'm both.
And you're also the golden ray, which is quite bright.
Yes. Like the wind and the leaf, I am one.
Wonderful.
I
After
just,
you.
while he's talking, just
Wow.
walk off.
I don't know. This is a lot. This is a lot
Push him.
confusing.
Yeah.
Things. I don't get it.
As I'm going down the hall, I will kind of be looking out for any traps or, you know, tripwires, trigger plates,
You roll survival for me.
survival.
And are we all stealthing?
Oh, you want it?
Yes.
Yes.
Disadvantage, so it's not taking part.
That's an 8 on survival.
Mm-hmm.
And stealth. Yeah, that's lovely.
Do you all roll stuff, right?
That's all.
Yep.
right.
It's 24 on stealth.
24,
6.
6,
I got a 7.
7,
11.
9,
11.
11,
15.
15.
Well, I still have good rolls on.
Like a zoo.
Roll the
Six,
dice.
I would say that
To be fair, they did save us from the harmonica.
Yeah, it's true.
Carl and Alaric are in front of Tiberius, and you guys are about 5 to 6 feet in front, and you guys are stealthily kind of sticking to the shadows somewhat, and your footsteps are muffled by kind of not putting weight on them. But you guys who are closer to the heavy armor wearing buffoon, he's kind of like clankering, like he's got like what sounds like to be pots and pans in his armor. There's probably crystals in there, kind of just clanging against his metal plate. And he's with you, in front of you, just leading you. This way!
I lean down to Fenton because he's very noisy as I'm making as much noise as him. Just not doing
You
Yep.
notice
He's noisy.
you notice as you walk in, there is a wooden door at the end of the tunnel at a distance, and you see some kind of rock or jaggedy remnants at the bottom of the doorstep, and you notice the tunnel getting wider and wider, and breathing seems to get a little easier, so there's some kind of airflow coming through now, and you see a light coming through the slits of this wooden door.
So there's like debris at the foot of the door.
So as you get closer, you see the debris is actually skeletons.
Oh yeah, that's not full body at all, is it?
And there are claw marks at the door trying to get in.
I'm going to squat down and sort of inspect the bones. Are they humanoid? Like, are they just bone, or is there still flesh on them?
I would say they are definitely humanoid. You can tell from the skull and the size of one of the tibias. You notice his tibia. But all of them are mostly charred. Some of them are still white, but only a little bit. As you touch them, they kind of crumble, kind of like when you put in chicken drumsticks to on the oven.
While he's doing that, I'm going to get my notebook out and start doing some sketches of the layout of the skeletons and the doors, and see if I can maybe do a little bit of a math thing and try and figure out where the fire would have come from.
Angles.
Yeah.
As you can tell, the marks don't really differ from how black or how sooty they are. But the thing that does seem to throw you off is how indented and different that corner is where his body is. It seems like there's a corner which is deeper than the other corner, as in if the explosion originated from there.
Okay.
The only thing is, that's where his body is.
Alright,
Is the door charred at all?
The door is charred only in that corner, on the left bottom corner where the skeleton is.
This guy exploded.
can I do it like an investigation to sort of see if there's any pressure plates or anything around the door. But
Okay, sure.
oh yeah, no. One.
As far as you can tell, there are no pressure
It's
plates.
a kitty.
You do notice that the handiwork of the door is quite nice.
It's a really well made door, this.
9th century.
Made by a left-handed dwarf, I think.
Rare. Very rare.
So there's no door handles, no other points of interest. Can I roll a perception?
Sure.
'Cause I think that's how you play this game. People perception 11.
I'll say that as a handyman yourself, you notice the hinges at the door and the frame, and you think that it's probably a push door. There's no lock. It goes inwards, not outwards. It's not a pull door.
Can I just, because I'm just very skeptical about all the charring, just grab like one of my axes and with the base kind of like, wait.
Might set it off. This whole room might be set on fire. Touch it.
Oh, but we had a look. It seemed perfectly clear. Did you notice anything?
I didn't see anything.
I said go through.
Unless someone wants to do an arcana
as-
check.
I didn't see anything, so I'm just gonna push on the door.
As before anyone pushes on the door, I'm going to go to the other side from the explosion cornery thing, and I'm going to draw myself back into the corner as much as I can without getting covered in soot,
So
and get ready to cast shield.
I'm gonna stand behind Hazel's
Slowly.
petite yet muscular frame.
pushing open the door.
Hazel's like 6'2". She can go. I'm gonna stand. I'm just gonna kind of stand in the corner away because this is scary.
Actually,
Slowly, carefully.
If the DM is smiling, it's already too late.
Oh,
I'm
no.
14 on a wisdom save,
No,
so.
I'm just kidding. You open the
No,
door.
you son of a bitch.
You hear
It's a
like,
door.
sorry, is that a door?
Oh, sorry, that was my bed.
Yeah.
Tacos.
That's Tabiri.
It would be.
He's just there.
Brett is finally catching up to you. The fermented fish thing.
He's just Dutch ovening his suit.
You open the door slightly, and what you see inside is what not you expected. It looks somewhat like an infirmary. There are hospital beds, it's kind of strewn around, and there is an older gentleman in a robe, kind of asking guards to hand him tools, and he's operating on what seems to be children.
The cult symbol was like a blackened baby, like a child
Yeah.
baby, wasn't it?
That's not creepy at all.
How big's the
How could
the
that be
skeleton?
related? Sorry?
How big's
Yeah.
the humanoid skeleton? Is it child
Uh,
sized?
Yes, you would notice it as a child size.
This got so much
How,
darker.
how many people in this room?
In the room that you can see, from the little slit that you opened, you can see 2 guards aiding the older man in the infirmary.
I feel like we're all
Is the-
Scooby doing it. Like
Yeah,
you got
it's
in
like-
with different heads all through the.
I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna go and take a bit closer look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold here. And I'm just
Send
going
us a
down
signal.
stealth in.
Yeah,
Wait-
from where I
wait
am,
for
can
a
I see
moment.
if it's an alive child?
On the
On the table.
Child
Um,
guidance.
I would say that as he moves,
What does that give
his
you?
whatever equipment that he has,
Yeah.
it seems to hurt the child, and he reacts to
Can
it.
I
Okay,
save
I'm
that up
kicking
for
the door
an
down. my character,
Last minute.
yeah, that's right. Don't worry about it, Tal. The child's being like it's alive. They're doing whatever. I'm kicking the fucking.
Oh,
door
right.
down.
Mm.
Stealth is going out the window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
full speed ahead.
As you
As I'm about to whisper, he just charges at the
Yeah.
as you realize that child is alive and well, is feeling all the pain that it is given to, you kind of have a flashback of someone you once knew, and something triggers in you. I need to protect this child, and you kick the door down, and everyone roll for initiative.
Oh, actually,
Oh, you're rolling the
Roll,
shoot.
not shoot. Roll for
Ah,
initiative.
yeah.
For the first time in the show, roll for initiative. Actually, do what you're supposed to
Come
in
on,
D&D.
out of one. Oh,
That hurts.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, sorry. I was all for stealth,
No,
but
no.
then as soon as I saw a
Oh
child
no,
there,
there's a child of danger.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Busted in.
yeah.
he's gonna play your moral conscience, isn't
Yeah, this makes me feel a little better for saving it.
Yeah.
Right. Tom, let's start with you.
10.
10? Perfect.
No, it's
11.
Okay, 11. Perfect.
14 plus 2, 16.
6. Oh. And Penance.
That has nothing on my 6.
Yeah.
What's going
Hazel.
on?
13.
13. Perfect.
18.
18.
Oh.
The Finn.
If I rolled 18,
You're gonna be the last one in the room though.
Possible.
And I'm going to
What's
roll
Tiberius
for
doing?
our
Oh, you want to
very, very esteemed gentleman, Tiberius. 17.
-1.
Yeah.
Ooh, so I go before Tiberius. That actually would work into my plans very nicely.
Mm.
Set him on fire and just push him forward.
We need him. He's going to be our connection to the higher ups.
Don't
Yeah.
His dad is one of the
Yeah.
bosses.
We just need his
He would
fingers.
kill
Going
us
viral
so
from there.
well.
D8, please.
D8, certainly.
Do you want one?
Would you like to borrow a D8?
How many do you need?
A few.
Oof.
Which color would you
Catch.
like?
Catch.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you have shit like
I have a whole cake here.
Have you got
So,
Do you
Take a die.
Legend.
Wait,
I
is that
don't
the right
think
one?
Pick
those
up die.
Yes, you had to
Good
find
name
it.
for a band.
I always do that.
Even I got that right.
as the door busts open, you look out into the opening and you see that the infirmary is actually a crevice that is kind of underneath a bunch of rooms of the basement of the Strider Manor. On your right are lined of rooms. One of them look to be metal reinforced, kind of like a prison. On your very right, you see kind of weird contraptions that are used to kind of chain people or suspend someone in the air, you would assume.
It's very dungeon.
It's very dungeon. On the left, you see a bunch of rooms that seems to be much smaller than the rooms on the right. Some you would guess they're barracks or bedding or something like that. And at the very front, beyond the old man, beyond the infirmary, there's a two-story kind of room with a balcony in the very center. And
It's in my mum's house.
you don't notice anything different about that room in terms of the make and the build of it, except that it has a balcony and it's glowing red and blue. Like a disco.
Oh, so it's like up on like a mezzanine.
Like a mezzanine.
I was like, oh wait, the cops are in there.
Quick, it's the Popo.
As the door flings open, you see the surprised face of an old man as he kind of looks at you and goes, and you see his full face unhidden from the hood because he just turned to you.
Ha.
And you see a grey beard and a very, very recognizable face.
This guy's the
This is
fucking
the
mayor.
mayor.
Is it the priest?
Is it
Is it the mayor?
No, it is not.
Damn it.
Oh.
Well, there goes that conspiracy theory.
You know him
This is Big Bird.
as Minos Allfather,
Seriously?
yeah, the head scribe of the Champions Guild.
Yeah, wow.
Well, that's
Firefly.
some fucked up, is it?
we
Yeah.
messed up.
Not really, like.
I think we're
Oh,
all
no.
set up.
We doing this.
I know we're doing this,
We're
but
doing this, he's not a kid.
You also notice that there is some blood draining towards the drainage area, where the kind of floor is kind of slanted towards a little drain hole, big enough to fit a person. There are about 5 beds. One of the kids seems unresponsive. 4 of them seems to be already operated on, and he's working on the 5th one. And
Jesus.
you do notice something else. All the kids seems to be drow,
Drow.
Drow.
dark-skinned elves.
Oh, I'll make it okay, don't worry about it.
Hey.
And
Yeah.
that ends our episode for today!
Oh,
no.
Watch us next Sunday for what them kids doing here.
Official title. Official title.
What them kids doing here.
Kids, get off my lawn!
Next Sunday, Shoot for Initiative,
Dude.
episode
5.
5.
That's the one that comes after
Because
4.
numbers.
We're gonna eat to 10 one day. You're gonna get there, buddy. We're gonna make you count to 10. You'll be successful.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on the Twitch.
Twitter.
Follow us on the YouTubes.
We find
Our
a front
replays will be on there.
system
We live Sunday, every Sunday at 6. And on Instagram, we'll have a giveaway information on the 5th episode, which is our next episode, available to you on Instagram and on our show. So be sure to tune in. And thank you for watching. See you next time.
TPK, it's in the game.
Oh, that means I have to roll for
Cut!
PTSD.